festival in all its vivid colors.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
Kind attention, please.
The future of Delhi isn't decided in speeches. It is decided at the ballot box.
BJP putting all its might to dethrone Aam Aadmi Party-led government in Delhi.
Delhi's decision destination.
Will the Aam Aadmi Party's success saga continue for the fourth time?
Will Congress put up
a very good evening. You're watching India Sense with me, Gaurie Dwivedi. Let's start the show with headlines coming in this Friday evening. First up, Dhaka moves to scrub Mujibur Rahman's legacy as mob sets fire to Bangabandhu's iconic home-turned museum as Bangladesh plunges deeper into mobocracy. What can India do?
At the invitation of the President of the United States of America, Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi will pay an official working visit to the United States on 12th and 13th of February.
All eyes on the first meeting between Prime Minister Modi and President Trump in his second term. Fate of global energy, big-ticket defense deals and global political influence likely to be sealed. External Affairs Ministry confirms that it has been informed by US authorities about 487 more Indian citizens who are subject to final removal orders from the US, even as India registers its difference of opinion when an AI summit in Paris as India gets on the artificial intelligence highway. From CEO roundtables to big-ticket announcements, India has arrived on the AI stage. And Reserve Bank of India cuts rates for the first time in 5 years. Coupled with government's tax breaks, the move is set to spur consumption spends in India. RBI pegs India's growth rate at 6.7% at the higher end of the 6.3 to 6.8% growth forecast by India's economic advisor. All right, viewers, coming in on the big story in the show today, which is Bangladesh. Well, viewers, history can be rewritten, it can be revisited, but can history be completely scrubbed? And what happens when nations disown their history? Well, they are bound to make the same mistakes, but it seems the mobs in Dhaka do not know this, or at least they don't want to learn from it, because that's what they are doing when they're going about erasing Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's legacy in Bangladesh.
This is most unfortunate. We cannot tolerate any more all this system. And you know the people are behind me, everything is collapsed. There is no administration. Now they are using their force. It's up to them now to decide what to do. Nobody should play with the fire. Nobody should try to suppress the 70 million people. When they are determined to achieve something, nobody can suppress them. Today, tomorrow, or day after tomorrow.
So Mujibur Rahman was the man on whose clarion call the soldiers of Mukti Bahini, his rebel force that took on the Pakistani army, came out. The oppressive army that killed and raped millions of Bengali women. And his clarion call were made from 32 Dhanmondi, the residence where he stayed. It was a symbol of Bengali struggle. Birth of Bangladesh happened from there. But it now stands in ruins. Mobs in Bangladesh have now destroyed all symbols of the Bengali resistance against Pakistan. In fact, it was in Dhanmundi, 32 Dhanmundi, which was a modest two-bedroom house, which was the exact place where the Bangladeshi movement started in 1966. It was there that in 1970, the elections of then Pakistani National Assembly results gave a decisive victory to Awami League. The elections that were rejected by General Yahya Khan and started the chain reaction that eventually led to Bangladesh's birth. It was there on 5th of March 1971 where Sheikh Mujibur Rahman called the eastern wing of Pakistan to be a separate state. That is the history of that place. So why should students want to raise this piece of history that is at the center of Bangladesh's existence? Well, because most are now extremists. These mobs are extremists that are running Bangladesh. They are aligned to the extremist ideology of Pakistan. Slowly, it seems that Bangladesh's unique identity is being scrubbed. Its police uniforms have been changed. They look pretty much and very close to the Pakistani uniforms. Its constitution has been rewritten. It's no more a secular country, just like Pakistan. Hindus in Bangladesh are under major attack, just like Pakistan. 6 texts on Mujibur Rahman have been dropped, and they are being replaced by then Army Chief of Bangladesh, Ziaur Rahman. You see the pattern that is happening there. Bangladesh is slowly coming exactly on Pakistan's template. Bangladesh is contesting its own history. It's going back from the path of Mujibism. It began marching on 53 years back, and in the process, it's becoming closer and closer to Pakistani thought, Pakistani society, and Pakistani history. It's no coincidence that the destruction of national monuments, 600 in total, as claimed by Awami League, following Hasina's ouster, mirrors the rise of those who still adhere to Pakistan's narrative, a narrative that sought to erase Bangladesh's very existence as an independent nation. And this is the true cost of Muhammad Yunus's power grab, a gift to those who have long sought to revise history, to silence the heroes of the liberation war. The struggle of Bangladesh is far from over. But viewers, it's very clear that the fight for the nation's soul is in fact deeper. Right now, Bangladesh is also searching for its nationalism. It's searching for its national identity in the midst of history being rewritten. Both have been compromised as sections within the country and now embracing Pakistanis who despise them so much that they could not bear the thought of the country being led by a Bengali and not by a Punjabi. The ideals of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, which was secularism, democracy, and Bengali identity, are all under assault. In fact, Mujibism in Bangladesh is dead. As for India that fought the war to free Bangladesh, it needs to now be prepared for a Pak proxy to emerge at its eastern border. The first wide-angle story on the show, as the clock ticks down to next week, where Prime Minister Modi is all set to meet President Trump for the first time as he became the 47th president of US. In Washington, the fate of global energy, big-ticket defense deals, and global political influence could be sealed. From oil deals to fighter jets, there's a lot that's on the table. And it comes after India has made some very important preemptive steps to address President Trump's core concerns. This report tells you the big picture of the India-US bilateral relationship.
We can now project the winner of the presidential race. Donald Trump wins the presidency.
What started off as unlikely, impossible, is now reality.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to meet US President Donald Trump. The meeting will revolve around the deepening energy ties and closer defense collaboration. But as always, it's not just about the headlines. It's about the deals that could shape the future. Expanding energy partnerships are expected to take center stage as both nations pivot towards securing their future through energy collaboration. India has already taken a significant step, increasing its oil purchases. The strategic reserves are nearly full in America, and Trump has promised to flood the world with US oil and gas. The partnership won't stop at oil. The US is eyeing India's energy future through the collaboration on small modular reactors. In fact, the Union Budget 2025-26 has allocated 20,000 crore rupees for R&D in small modular reactors, targeting at least 5 indigenously designed operational SMRs by 2033. Meanwhile, India would want early closure to the pending jet engine deal for GE Hindustan Aeronautics deal for Tejas Mark II indigenous aircraft. Both thorny issues persist: tariffs and immigration. The big stick of American policy looms overhead. India's import duties on US goods have been a thorn in Trump's side. But India has begun taking preemptive steps, cutting tariffs in its latest budget, a sign that they are willing to meet Trump halfway, proving that India is no tariff king. On illegal immigration, Trump has made no bones about his stance on foreign nationals, threatening deportations and slapping tariffs on countries that don't toe the line. India is treading carefully. Foreign Minister Jaishankar recently emphasized that while India wants legal mobility for its citizens, illegal migration is a matter of concern for both countries. But let's not forget the broader chessboard. China's shadow looms large. With both India and the US eyeing China's growing dominance, Modi and Trump's strategic bond could prove crucial in the fight for influence in the Indo-Pacific. And make no mistake, Trump's commitment to pushing back against China means India, as a major partner, could stand to gain military muscle and cutting-edge technology in return.
Viewers, the visit will show whether the two leaders are able to compartmentalize the thorny issues in the relationship and move ahead on this strategic convergence. For Trump, he needs to prove to his domestic audiences that he is walking the talk on key election promises, trade and immigration, and also on countering China, where he needs India. For Prime Minister Modi, the big focus will be to stabilize the trade relationship. Priority would be to avoid backlash on legal immigrants. Remember, there are over 4 lakh Indians on student visas, and 72% of the 4 lakh H-1B visas are issued to India. Reciprocity will be the key word to watch out for in this visit. All right, the other wide-angle story on the show: as the world barrels down the digital highway, India is firmly in the driver's seat, ready to take a bold leap into the future. Prime Minister Modi is set to co-chair the upcoming AI Action Summit in Paris on the 11th of February, a move that highlights India's growing influence when it comes to the global stage. Alongside French President Emmanuel Macron, the US Vice President J.D. Vance, and Chinese Vice Prime Minister, Prime Minister Modi will be at the helm, shaping conversations that will steer the future of AI development. The summit, that's part of the Paris Peace Forum, aims to ensure that AI evolves with an ethical, sustainable and inclusive approach. India's participation marks a turning point in the nation's technological journey as it accelerates towards becoming a leader in the global AI race. With an eye on innovation and progress, India's government is already adopting AI to better deliver social services, improve public infrastructure, enhance healthcare. Remember, there's a $1.25 billion AI mission, and there's skilled workforce in India. All it has to do is to become a leader by having a clear roadmap in place. The collaboration at the AI summit could open new doors for India's economy, push it further into the realm of tech-enabled manufacturing, next-gen industries as well. Listen in to IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnav on what are the priorities as well as the opportunities that lie ahead for India in AI.
Within the applications in healthcare, in education, in agriculture, in weather forecasting, in disaster management, in transportation, multiple different things we are working.
Unlike China, where the DeepSeek's AI models seem to be linked to the state machinery, or OpenAI's ChatGPT, where profit is the only guiding force, India can really create that right balance. Just like its digital public infrastructure, which has now become the backbone for digital financing models for the global south, India's AI models can create the ideal balance between the two extremes, which is profit for US and control for China. And that is where the real growth is going to be. That is where the real innovation will be. And that is where India's contribution will be. As the world fast forwards to the future, India's private sector needs to rise. India needs hundreds of Bhavish Agarwals whose AI entity Krutrim is creating a supercomputer. And it's not just about costs. After all, India's lunar missions cost less than most Hollywood movies. India's AI journey needs more private sector participation, an ecosystem that fosters a more lean, mean computing machinery. Inside Story segment on the show. Panama Canal is in the news with President Trump keen to acquire it. There's a reason for it. The United States handed over control of the canal to Panama in 1999 in a carefully negotiated treaty, but with it the responsibility to safeguard the vital artery of global commerce. For decades, Panama has managed it well, until recently. Now, China has a significant presence in Panama, and it's literally in America's backyard. This report tells you why this canal is so important and will play a decisive role in Trump 2.0's administration.
President Trump's Secretary of State Marco Rubio's first international visit was to Panama, a small country in Latin America that is set to be at the center of a larger US-China geopolitical game of one-upmanship. Under its signature Belt and Road Initiative, China has started investing heavily in Panama. On the surface, these investments look largely commercial in nature: ports, construction projects, even tech giants like Huawei making massive inroads. But Chinese investments come with lingering doubts about military partnership. Something that the Trump administration knows could have major impact on America's supply lines.
We're going to take it back, and China will be dealt with. And we didn't give that to China, we gave it to Panama. We shouldn't have given it to Panama, but Panama, as you know, has violated the agreement.
China's grip extends into nearly every corner of Panama's economy. From Hutchison, that operates ports on both the Atlantic and Pacific sides of Panama, to Costco, a Chinese logistics giant that is now the canal's largest customer. China's influence in the political elites of Panama allows it to cut shady business deals, like the port concessions to Hutchison. Panama's most influential families have ties to Beijing, and these Chinese invitations lead to more such one-sided deals. The Panama Canal connects the east and west coasts of the United States, its economic lifeline that carries goods, fuel, and military resources from one hemisphere to the other. China's growing presence threatens to disrupt American supply chains. Beijing's steadily rising military engagement with Panama is also a concern for Trump. China is now training security forces in Panama and providing the island country crucial military equipment. In a conflict, China's presence in Panama could give them the ability to target the canal in ways that are nearly impossible to prevent. Disabling ships in narrow passages, bombing bridges, or even launching cyber attacks on vital canal systems. The risk is real.
Panama Canal is to the US what the Suez Canal is to Europe. Its lifeline. This is also the reason why US has long protected its military interests in the region. Military interventions like the 1989 invasion is a grim reminder of what's at stake. Panama will face Trump's carrot and stick approach going forward, probably the most. It has ended its BRI deal with China right now, ahead of a date of renewal. But as China-US tensions escalate, particularly in trade, Panama is likely to be wooed by both sides. It remains to be seen how soon Trump will start singing from the tariff sheet to keep Panama under its ambit. Meanwhile, as India prepares to showcase its Sukhoi-57 at Aero India 2025, this moment is a defining chapter in the nation's defense narrative. With its own fifth-generation fighter jet program on the horizon, New Delhi is no longer just reacting to external threats. It's taking the reins of its defense future. The Sukhoi-57 is more than a fighter jet. It's the cornerstone of our defense strategy, paving the way for self-sufficiency, technological advancement, and battle-ready India. The skies above are set to look very different going forward. This report tells you why.
In what is likely to rebalance the defense scales in Asia, Russia's fifth-generation Sukhoi-57 stealth fighter has already touched down in India ahead of the highly anticipated Aero India 2025 show. The jet, poised to take center stage, arrives a possible advanced military asset. With the Sukhoi-57's presence, India finds itself at the forefront of an evolving arms race in the skies. One that pits its growing technological prowess against the mounting stealth capabilities of both China and Pakistan. As Beijing rapidly deploys the Chengdu J-20 and Islamabad looks towards acquiring the J-31, New Delhi's response is clear. The Sukhoi-57's debut signals more than a new fighter jet. It marks a pivotal moment in India's defense ambitions. With Russia offering not just aircraft but the opportunity for joint production on Indian soil, this isn't just about acquiring state-of-the-art technology. India is positioning itself to be a powerhouse in defense manufacturing. The Make in India initiative finds its perfect match in the Sukhoi-57 through joint production. The collaboration comes as India's airspace is becoming an increasingly competitive battleground. China's People's Liberation Army Air Force is aggressively expanding its fleet of J-20 stealth fighters, and Pakistan is eyeing the J-31s. With its unmatched maneuverability, advanced avionics, and stealth capabilities, the Sukhoi-57 stands as a formidable asset in countering any regional adversary's air superiority. While some might look to the US F-35 as the gold standard in stealth technology, India's move to prioritize Russia's Sukhoi-57 is important. It's a pivot towards self-reliance. With joint production in the works, the Make in India initiative could in turn bridge the gap between foreign technology and homegrown innovation.
Quick take segment on the show. First up, days after Union Budget gave a major relief to middle class in terms of tax cuts, Reserve Bank of India cuts interest rates by 0.25%. This is the first rate cut in 5 years and expected to provide a major boost to the economic activity by putting in more money in the system. People will now have more money in their hands due to lower taxes and lower interest rates on their loans, allowing them to either spend more or invest more. Both conditions are likely to create a major impetus to the Indian economy. RBI has also pegged the GDP growth rate for the next financial year at 6.7%, at the higher end of the 6.3 to 6.8% band projected by India's chief economic advisor. While Pakistan's President Asif Ali Zardari embarks on a diplomatic junket in China, boasting of deepening ironclad ties with Beijing, back home, Islamabad is spiraling into fresh unrest. Protests are erupting against the draconian amendments to Pakistan's cybercrime law, which critics argue crush free speech and silence dissent completely. The law's vague language on fake or false information has triggered massive outrage from journalists and right groups, fearing a crackdown on digital freedom. Amidst Zardari's glowing speeches about shared prosperity, Pakistan's citizens are left to wrestle with a government that's increasingly curtailing their online voices. As China rolls out the red carpet for Zardari, Pakistan's citizens wonder, will the president fight for their freedoms or continue to fuel the crackdown on digital dissent? But that is a wrap on this edition of India Sense. Thanks so much for watching.
मोबाइल फोन किसी भी ब्रांड का काम का तब होता है जब उसमें NDTV का ऐप हो।
जब अपना फोन किसी को दो तो NDTV ऐप के अलावा बाकी सब डिलीट कर देना।
नहीं तो क्या सियापा होता है, जानने के लिए देखिए हमारी स्वीट लव स्टोरी लव्यापा आपके नजदीकी सिनेमा घरों में।
तुम अपना फोन एक दिन के लिए बानी को दोगे और बानी तुम अपना फोन एक दिन के लिए गौरव को दो।
और न्यूज के लिए कीप वॉचिंग NDTV।
हर 2 साल में फोन बदले जाते हैं गुच्ची।
NDTV ऐप नहीं।
Kind attention, please.
The future of Delhi isn't decided in speeches. It is decided at the ballot box.
BJP putting all its might to dethrone Aam Aadmi Party-led government in Delhi.
Delhi's decision destination.
Will the Aam Aadmi Party's success saga continue for the 4th time?
Will Congress put up a tough fight and turn the tide this Delhi Assembly elections?
How will the numbers change on the D-Day of Eid?
Delhi Election Metro 2025. Stay tuned to NDTV for mega metro poll coverage.
This week on India Ascends.
Bangladesh scraps Bongo Bandhu Mujibur Rahman's legacy. What next for Yunus's Islamist agenda? State set for big Modi-Trump meeting. Does immigration hold key to the new US-India relationship? Will India lead the way for the world's AI transition? And how could China's growing presence in Panama spell trouble for America?
All this and more only on India Sense with me, Gaurie Dwivedi, at these timings on the NDTV network.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital, Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
मोबाइल फोन किसी भी ब्रांड का काम का तब होता है जब उसमें NDTV का ऐप हो।
जब अपना फोन किसी को दो तो NDTV ऐप के अलावा बाकी सब डिलीट कर देना।
नहीं तो क्या सियापा होता है, जानने के लिए देखिए हमारी स्वीट लव स्टोरी लव्यापा आपके नजदीकी सिनेमा घरों में।
तुम अपना फोन एक दिन के लिए बानी को दोगे और बानी तुम अपना फोन एक दिन के लिए गौरव को दो।
और न्यूज के लिए कीप वॉचिंग NDTV।
हर 2 साल में फोन बदले जाते हैं गुच्ची।
NDTV ऐप नहीं।
Kind attention, please.
The future of Delhi isn't decided in speeches. It is decided at the ballot box.
BJP putting all its might to dethrone Aam Aadmi Party-led government in Delhi.
Delhi's decision destination.
Will the Aam Aadmi Party's success saga continue for the 4th time?
Will Congress put up a tough fight and turn the tide this Delhi Assembly elections?
How will the numbers change on the D-Day of Eid.
Delhi Election Metro 2025. Stay tuned to NDTV for Mega Metro poll coverage.
This week on India Ascends.
Bangladesh scraps Bangabandhu Mujibur Rahman's legacy. What next for Yunus's Islamist agenda? State set for big Modi-Trump meeting. Does immigration hold key to the new US-India relationship? Will India lead the way for the world's AI transition? And how could China's growing presence in Panama spell trouble for America?
All this and more only on India Ascends with me, Gaurie Dwivedi, at these timings on the NDTV network.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
Hello and welcome to the Southern View. I'm Veera Raghav. Lots lined up over the next 30 minutes, including that political face-off over the Muda case and the judgment today. But first, the headlines we're tracking this hour. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri makes a strong statement, says India is in touch with American officials over the deportation in chains. They've told the US authorities that India expects humane behavior with men and women being deported. The statement comes a day after a political slugfest. Drama escalates with poaching allegations just before vote counting for the national capital as the Anti-Corruption Bureau arrived at Arvind Kejriwal's residence. The AAP files a complaint with the ACB against BJP over a poaching attempt. ACB serves a notice to Arvind Kejriwal. Down south filmmaker Ram Gopal Verma is questioned by the Andhra Pradesh police in that case over offensive posts against the Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu. Well, first up this evening, the Karnataka High Court today dismissed the plea seeking transfer of the high-profile Muda case allegedly involving Chief Minister Siddaramaiah to the CBI. The petitioners in the Muda case, which is being investigated, remember, by the Karnataka Lokayukta, had sought the case be transferred to the CBI on the grounds that the Lokayukta could not conduct a free probe against the Chief Minister as it functioned under the state government. The court, which had considered a status report filed by the Lokayukta in its order, said, and I quote, "The material on record does not indicate that investigations conducted by the Lokayukta is partisan or shoddy for this court to refer the matter to the CBI for further investigation or reinvestigation." It is a reprieve for the Congress and Siddaramaiah, who have argued that the Lokayukta is impartial and there is no interference in the investigations. Remember, a CBI probe would have further intensified the political exchange over the case, which is already being investigated by the Enforcement Directorate. Let's get you some of the top political reactions to that order before heading to the face-off on the issue this evening.
Nothing that we have to do. The complainant moved the High Court with the writ proceedings seeking transfer of investigation to the CBI after having himself gone to the court seeking Lokayukta investigation. Even before the FIR was registered, he moved the High Court seeking investigation. Therefore, the High Court has said that Lokayukta, being an independent institution, has carried out satisfactory investigation, and the ingredients required to transfer a case to CBI, as laid down by the Honorable Supreme Court and our High Court, is not found in the case, and dismissed the petition. Therefore, we welcome the judgment of the Honorable High Court. We have always stood by rule of law, We have always stood by the constitution. We have bowed down and bowed our heads to the judgments of the court. Earlier occasion when the judgment was against us also, we bowed down to the judgment. We have always welcomed an inquiry and investigation in accordance with law.
The social activist Nehamayi Krishna had approached Honorable High Court seeking CBI investigation, wherein today High Court has refused the petition demanding for CBI investigation in Muda case. I do agree it is a big relief for Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. At the same time, High Court has not said Siddaramaiah or Siddaramaiah family is not guilty. So the allegation which is against Siddaramaiah family, even today it holds good. But only the issue pertaining to CBI investigation has not been accepted by the Honorable High Court.
Well, so what does this mean? Remember, this may not well be the last act in that Muda case. Certainly joining me this evening, Bhaskar Rao of the BJP, former IPS officer, Sandeep Shastri, our very own political observer who observes Karnataka very closely. We also hope to be joined by Bhavya Narasimhamurthy of the Congress in just a bit from now. Mr. Bhaskar Rao, my first question to you. The court reaffirming its faith as far as the Lokayukta probe is concerned for the moment. Is it perhaps time for the BJP and the activists to wait for the outcome of this probe before constantly questioning it at this stage?
No, I think if you leave it to the court is in possession of the knowledge of the contents of investigation. And court must have applied its mind. Though there are external apprehensions that Lokayukta or its officers could be swayed by the personality of the Chief Minister. But since we are not aware, nobody is aware, and the court alone is aware about the contents of investigation, so it has not chosen to bypass the Lokayukta's independent stand over there. So it has rejected the CBI inquiry, and it has found that whatever investigation Lokayukta has done, after all, the judge also is aware of what is investigation. So he has seen it, or probably he thinks that the de jure investigation may be infructuous, and they may also arrive at the same conclusions. Or we don't know. We trust the Honorable High Court's decision in this matter. So it may be like a relief to Siddaramaiah if he thinks it's a relief, but an innocent person need not claim any kind of a relief as such. But let us wait for the outcome of the High Court, and the High Court is hearing that petition, and the truth is there in a sealed cover, or the contents are with the are in possession of the High Court judge.
Okay, I will bring to you the question of the CBI probe. I'm still hoping for the Congress spokesperson to join in a bit, who seems to be at a conference. Unfortunately, we need to get that side of the story as well. But Sandeep Shastri, the Muda cloud remains over the Congress and Siddaramaiah. The move to push the case to the CBI only intensifies that political exchange. The demand to push the case to the CBI only intensifies the Congress-BJP political exchange and arguments that central agencies are being used against Congress leaders. How do you see the Muda case playing out from now on? Because remember, the bigger case, and perhaps the more important one, is the one where Siddaramaiah has challenged the order allowing the investigation into the case itself.
Veera, I would like to start off with the comment you made. The Muda cloud, at the moment the Muda cloud is not apparently visible, but it is there in the horizon, is what I would add. It is very much there in the horizon. Would you want the Congress spokesperson to respond? Then I'll go forward.
Dr. Shastri, Dr. Shastri, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm really sorry to interrupt you. I'll come back because I think Bhavya Narasimhamurthy has been able to join us right now. Bhavya, Mr. Bhaskar Rao just making the point that yes, the court has delivered its order on its wisdom, but do not consider this as a victory. Sandeep Shastri also pointing out that the Muda cloud remains firmly over the Chief Minister and the Congress.
So, Raghav sir, BJP government at the center has always tried to destabilize any state government ruled by the opposition in one or the other way, misusing the independent constitutional bodies. We already know that, whether it is IT or ED or such cases, they have been trying to do this. And this time, we always believe in the law of this country, and we believe today's verdict from the High Court has shown a mirror to them. Instead of doing such dirty politics, I would really think BJP government should work on, you saw what happened to the immigrants, how they were treated by America. If only Narendra Modi and his battalion or the team concentrates on India and the actual issues that India is facing, instead of doing this hate politics, everything will be fine. The court has taken its course. The law has spoken. They have said there was no need for a CBI probe. Why would they say? Because there is no credibility in their case. If there was something, High Court would have given a permission, right? You people want to stay in that bubble thinking this is not victory. You want to go to Supreme Court, do what you want. We have the trust in the law of this land. But we honestly believe India needs your attention. You are the Prime Minister, you are the ruling party. India really needs your attention today. We have been discredited, we have been disrespected at the global level. This has never happened.
One second, Bhavya, let Bhaskar Rao respond and then you can go on.
That Indians have been treated so badly, so disrespectfully at the global stage. You please concentrate
One second, Bhavya, let Bhaskar Rao respond.
I already mentioned to you that the Honorable High Court is in possession of facts which is not known to all of us, and we respect the decision of the Honorable High Court. Probably the Honorable High Court must have come to a conclusion that there is enough material to hear the matter in a judicious way. So we leave it to the High Court's judgment, because at that time we were doubtful about the neutrality of Muda, and Sneha Mahi Krishna, one of the activists, he had moved the High Court, and it was not the party that had moved over, where in Bhavya is showing a lot of anger and resentment that BJP had moved the High Court, etc., etc. It was Sneha Mahi Krishna who had moved over there. So the Honorable High Court has taken a decision.
But it's a political demand by the BJP as well.
There is no need for...
Sending ED for a case where there was no money laundering at all, you send ED for no, there is no credibility in sending ED against the Chief Minister, because there was no money involved at all here.
Bhavya, please talk about the subject.
Misuse of... Exactly. That was done by you people only. And whoever this Sneha Mahi Krishna is, or this Ibrahim is, Santosh Hegde, the ex-Lokayukta, they had called him a blackmailer. Do you even remember that, sir? The governor, the position of governor was also misused.
Quick response, Bhaskar Rao, before I get to Sandeep Shastri.
This was not
quick
acceptable.
Response from Bhaskar Rao before I get to Sandeep.
Response to meaningless ranting.
1 second, Bhavya.
Message more.
See, I can't respond to
meaningless ranting, says Bhaskar Rao. Sandeep Shastri.
I can respond to a discussion.
Sandeep Shastri, the political connotations... Sandeep Shastri, let's get the political context of this. You were beginning to answer that question on what the political consequences are, given that this Muda case continues to play out at the High Court in Karnataka.
Dira, as I was saying, after today's judgment, the Muda cloud seems to have moved to the side for the moment, but the cloud has not disappeared. The cloud is very much there somewhere on the horizon, because there are larger issues involved, and that will take its own time to be able to be settled. So yes, this is a temporary reprieve or a temporary victory, a short-term shot in the arm for the Chief Minister and for the government and for the party. And one would need to wait to see how things shape up, and Muda being used as a political football will very much be there because that becomes a critical factor in the play of politics in the state. Will the central government tighten the screw in any way, like we have seen today in the fight in Delhi between AAP and BJP? Will something similar happen in terms of tightening the screw? That is something we have to wait and watch. But I think as of today, you see a reprieve for the chief minister and for the government and for the party. But how long does this reprieve really stand? I think in the long run, I would believe the Muda shadow
how
is very
long does
much
this
there on the
reprieve
horizon.
last is really the question Bhavya Sandeep Shastri is raising. I'm sure there is a sense of nervousness within the Congress party about this case.
You know, this kind of harassment that the central government is trying to do against all these governments, state governments where opposition is ruling, and giving clean chits to all the corrupt people who join them or who compromise. This has been happening. And I think now across India, all the leaders have got used to it, the opposition leaders. We are not nervous and nothing is going to change. We are very sure we'll walk out without any blemish. Siddaramaiah sir has been a leader known for his clean hand so far.
Not able to hear the guests because of an audio issue that's there. So as you know, I'm sorry, Bhavya, I'm not able to hear anything because of an audio issue at my end, not at your end. Bhaskar Rao, I'm running out of time. I give you the last word, please.
Let law take its course. We have respect for the Honorable High Court's wisdom, whether it is CBI or Lokayukta. Let a fair investigation proceed and the guilty should be punished.
Right. So I think we'll leave the conversation here at the moment on this. Thanks very much to Bhavya, as well as Sandeep Shastri, as well as Bhaskar Rao for joining us. Obviously, this is not the last act in that Muda controversy. As I mentioned, unfortunately, because of some audio issues, I'm not able to hear what the final words that were spoken by my guests this evening. But moving on now to our other focus this evening, which are cases of sexual assault in Tamil Nadu. This morning, a 36-year-old woman who was 4 months into her pregnancy was allegedly sexually assaulted. There was an assault on her in a train, and later she was pushed out of that moving train after she resisted that sexual assault by a 31-year-old man who's a history sheeter. The woman who had boarded the Coimbatore-Tirupati Express in the unreserved ladies' coach in the train was assaulted by the man midway after the Jolarpet station. When the woman resisted the rape attempt on her, he pushed her out of the moving train. The woman, who is 4 months pregnant, suffered multiple fractures and head injuries and is being treated at a hospital in Vellore. The accused, who's a history sheeter, was arrested by the police. Remember, there's also another case. 5 people, including the trustee and headmistress of a private school in Trichy district, were arrested after an alleged sexual assault on a 9-year-old girl. The trustee had allegedly sent the class teacher away and sexually harassed the child, who later told her parents about the incident. The case had led to some protests in the area, so a series of sexual assault cases in Tamil Nadu, remember, after that Anna University case in December 2024, has led to a political face-off over law and order in the state. Well, joining me this evening, Ashwathaman Allimuthu of the Bharatiya Janata Party and Harish Mohammed Ibrahim, who supports the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam. Thanks to both of you for joining us this evening. Mr. Allimuthu, first to you. Is it fair to blame law and order situation in these cases? Is it purely a case of heightened reporting and a political perception that is being created around this matter? First response from you.
Sir, as you pointed out, that criminals lost fear about police and their actions. It has been floored up due to that incident of Anna University sex scandal. Even reportedly, that girl the friend of the girl who is now come into the scene as a victim. Even the Tamil Nadu police didn't receive the complaint from the other girl itself. But the lot of students has been continuously spoiled by the accused and the person behind that accused. I am speaking about the Anna University sex scandal. Anna University is a reputed institution in Tamil Nadu. That kind of apparent sexual assault against the students, girl students studying in the university. See, look into the, imagine other areas, other colleges, situated in the rural area. Even for a few months back, High Court condemned the Tamil Nadu police in a rape case. Victim is a 10-year-old girl. Her parents is a humble background. They are working in the daily wages in the building construction. Actually, the complainant has been harassed by the Tamil Nadu police for lodging complaint for her seeking action against the wrongdoer, against the sexual assault.
First, from Harish, please go ahead. Respond.
Yes.
Yeah, the BJP speaking about women harassment, sexual harassment is like the Satan preaching a gospel, number one. And number two, in the Anna University case, the molester has been nabbed, the accused has been nabbed within 4 hours of the incident when it is reported. He is spreading a false news as usual. So once again, I didn't interrupt you.
He is not arrested in 4 hours.
One second.
He is arrested after 48 hours.
No,
please,
give me a second. Give me a second.
No. He identified. Please.
You can respond, Mr. Alimuthu. I'll come back to you.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. You can fact check. You can fact check what Harish says just after this. Go ahead, Harish.
Exactly. And all the scientific evidences has been nabbed and which has been produced in the High Court. And even the commissioner who has been inside the press conference have clearly, categorically mentioned all the culprits who have been inside this Anna University scandal, and he has been proven to be guilty, and he has been nabbed, even though he belonged to the first information report which has been spread by the BJP, and all those who want to create a politics among it has been completely disregarded by the Honorable High Court of Madras. And number three, all of the incidents which were happening then and there in, across Tamil Nadu is all been nabbed, which has been all been taken into custody, which has all been scrutinized by the Tamil Nadu State Police in a vehement manner, and there is no place for any kind of discrepancies. And to make it on the record, there have been so many cases across Tamil Nadu for whether it is a hoarding, whether it is a ticket raping, or whether it is a molestation. Wherever there is a crime, Tamil Nadu BJP persons are there involved, and I can show you record after record.
Okay, now Mr. Alimuthu, you are purely, Harish's point is that repeatedly turning every crime into a political issue and creating a perception of law and order in the state. Do you have solid facts to prove the law and order is deteriorating is the question that's being raised. Please respond.
Sir, first thing, the TMK fellows used to say the same lie everywhere. That Anna University accused has been spotted arrested within 4 hours. He has been arrested after 48 hours. Since that Anna University students indulged in the protest and roadblock after 8 hours, after 12 hours, after 16 hours, that all, see, videographs are there. Don't say the lie everywhere. In the inspector, same the police officials says no. Don't interfere.
Wait, Harish, I'll give you your turn. Harish. Let Mr. Alimuthu finish.
I keep quiet while he's speaking. Okay? They used to say the same lie. Actually,
go ahead. Finish your point quickly.
Only that the accused has been arrested in the Anna University case. That DMK Papa says that the accused is his brother, younger brother, in an open meeting. Actually, he is the office bearer of the DMK. Actually, he has been protected by DMK. That is the reason for delay for the 48 hours. Then, my friend says, FIR has been released by BJP. No, we have blaming you. Our state president Annamalai revealed this. FIR has been wrongly revealed by the Tamil Nadu police that...
All right, Harish, respond to this. No, you made your point. Harish, now respond. Finally, the question... No, let's not get into specifics per se. I'm going to ask you both a specific question. Harish, the point is that law and order, the perception of law and order is a problem right now for the DMK. Does the DMK not suffer from an impression or perception that law and order is deteriorating in this case, in the state, as far as sexual assault cases are concerned? Please respond.
Not at all. The entire Home Ministry of Central Government has given a clean sheet to entire state of Tamil Nadu and made sure this is the number one state in the country where women empowered, not only the women empowered, who's been solicited by the safety which has been provided to the kids, even in the Nirbhaya scandal where the rape has been happened. The entire state government machinery has been put in place on each and every crime against women. And as CM have categorically mentioned, there is a special law has been enacted to protect each and every kids in the state. And the BJP...
Mr. Alimuthu, I have last 20 seconds. One final question. The incident of alleged rape, a sexual assault in the train happened in the train, which should be investigated by the railway police. There are also questions raised there. Why point only at the state government machinery? Very quick final response from you before I close the show.
Sir, I wanted to tell you, no girl or ladies are in safe condition in Tamil Nadu. Even ADGP Kalpana Nayak, please, don't interfere. This is not a way to handle. This is not a way to handle. I've been keep quiet while you are speaking rubbish.
No, I think...
Please keep quiet. What ADGP Kalpana Nayak gave the complaint.
We are completely out of time.
Complaint, murder attempt. No,
I'm completely out of time, unfortunately.
No, that is my last.
No, I'm
point.
completely out of time, unfortunately. Both of you have made your points. This conversation will go on.
ADGP not in the safe condition.
Thanks.
In Tamil Nadu. That is the for ladies.
Okay, that's your point. That point you've made very clearly. Thanks very much to both of you for joining the show this evening. Thanks very much. I'm sorry, Harish, we've completely run out of time. Thanks very much to the two of you for joining us here on this conversation, an important one as far as women's safety is concerned. But that's all we have time for on the Southern View. News and updates continue right here on NDTV.
मोबाइल फोन किसी भी ब्रांड का काम का तब होता है जब उसमें NDTV का ऐप हो।
जब अपना फोन किसी को दो तो NDTV ऐप के अलावा बाकी सब डिलीट कर देना।
नहीं तो क्या सियापा होता है जानने के लिए देखिए हमारी स्वीट लव स्टोरी लव्यापा आपके नजदीकी सिनेमा घरों में।
तुम अपना फोन एक दिन के लिए बानी को दोगे और बानी तुम अपना फोन एक दिन के लिए गौरव को दो।
और न्यूज के लिए कीप वॉचिंग NDTV।
हर 2 साल में फोन बदले जाते हैं गुच्ची।
NDTV ऐप नहीं।
Kind attention, please.
The future of Delhi isn't decided in speeches. It is decided at the ballot box.
BJP putting all its might to dethrone Aam Aadmi Party-led government in Delhi.
Delhi's decision destination.
Will the Aam Aadmi Party's success saga continue for the 4th time?
Will Congress put up a tough fight and turn the tide this Delhi Assembly elections?
How will the numbers change on the D-Day of Eid?
Delhi Election Metro 2025. Stay tuned to NDTV for Mega Metro poll coverage.
This week on India Ascends.
Bangladesh scraps Bongo Bandhu Mujibur Rahman's legacy. What next for Yunus's Islamist agenda? State set for big Modi-Trump meeting. Does immigration hold key to the new US-India relationship? Will India lead the way for the world's AI transition? And how could China's growing presence in Panama spell trouble for America?
All this and more only on India Ascends with me, Gaurie Dwivedi, at these timings on the NDTV network.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India